Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you my second match of the WARNO League Season 4 group stage. And this time I am playing against Kamahl. This is our first game on Mount River, as you can see. I picked 7th Panzer once again, because I just like 7th Panzer a lot. It's a good division. It just has come out of a dark place with the recent nerfs to T-72s, which sounds funny, but because especially 9th Panzer has been affected by it a lot more. Now 7th Panzer has a big like a lot more of a place in the meta, with being the cheap T-72 division and the air spam division, and also with League having 6 bans, you do have the space to like ban 20th Panzer and maybe even 9th Panzer a lot of the time. So then 7th Panzer gets through almost every time. And yeah, so you can still play it. Kamahl decided to go with 8th US infantry. I first picked again. He counterpicked 8th US. I'm not sure whether this makes sense on this map. Because you do have better tanks, and with the M1, like the older 105mm Abrams, you do have a tank that is technically better than the T-72 because it has more range. But if I manage my engagement ranges correctly, I can completely bully the M1s, if he even takes them. If he only has the M1A1s, then he has better tanks, but he has less of them, and they're more expensive. M60s are cheaper, good for fire support, but obviously worse tanks. And while managing the engagement ranges, obviously, then still it's the same against the M1A1. The duel is just... it goes longer because the M1A1 is more tenacious, because it has more armor, but functionally it's the same. I want to get close, and then I can wreck the heavy tanks. I don't even take the M1s in my 8th infantry deck, though I also haven't played it in forever. So I don't know whether they're worth it. Who knows? Well, somebody does. I don't. I think they're not worth it. Especially, as I said, not on this map, where you can manage your engagement ranges fairly well. Like, as long as I don't engage literally from here to here, it's actually fine. So yeah, my deployment, as you can see, going for the left-hand side heavily as usual. I did get the good side this time, so where I have the covered approach to the center with the buildings here, which is very useful. Like, it's a slightly better side. In general, Mount River isn't like super unbalanced, but yeah, the approach here is just so much better than this approach here. Yeah. So, Spezialaufklärer going fairly aggressively into this forest patch here. Didn't want to deploy it in the back in a church. Did want to go a little bit more aggressively there. Then we have, or I have, Forgo and a grenade launcher deployed. Obviously, 8th US also still has the mech rifles, which are really not as good as they used to be, but they're still decent squads. And the grenade launcher is a very good counter against it. I mean, my infantry honestly should be probably able to beat mech rifles 1v1 anyway, because they're double vet and resolute. And I mean, they're only 2 men less and also have a double machine gun. So I'm not even sure whether my infantry wouldn't be enough either way. But the grenade launcher is just better, because the grenade launchers are fantastic against infantry, so might as well use them. The 2 recon helicopters, as always. Another Spezialaufklärer going to the center, just to see whether he goes there as well. I mean, if he goes heavily to the center, I will have to retreat the Spezialaufklärer. Might even lose them. Maybe a bit over-aggressive, but the thing is, if he doesn't go there, I already have a good staging position to start my push into the center, so I think that's worth it, together with an SPW Conquerors going to the forest patch here. As always, this is a good spot to snipe units coming from here. Something with a Kokon or like a 2,800 meter range ATGM would obviously always be better here. But the concourse from this side of the map is actually enough because you have this whole open area to snipe the enemy. Having a longer and faster ATGM, longer range and faster ATGM is more important from this side because the enemy can get into cover here very quickly. For the far right, we have another Spezialaufklärer. I always unload them in here because I don't want them to go too far up in their truck, and then just move them forward manually into this position here. Mod-Aufklärer to the actual far right, together with a Concourse and Modschützen, and an SPW. And then for the left, I didn't tell you before what it was because I knew that I would be changing it. I had two T-55s there, but then I decided to go with the T-72s because, as I said, I was afraid that he might have the M1s, and I wanted to have the T-72s because those are a lot better, obviously, than the T-55 in tank-on-tank fighting, and they obviously are better against the M60s. T-55s are fine, but T-72s are just, I mean, they're just better. But they're also more expensive. And then also two Modschützen, Strela, and Krupp. So, I mean, they're all pretty much going to this area, and then I want to push further to the right and then into the center, as I usually do. Don't really want to go for his back zone, even if I find it it's open. It's just... I don't know, it just rarely goes well for me. Mostly I didn't invest a bunch of resources to capture this area, and it's only worth 1 point, and then I lose it again either way. So, I don't know, I just rather keep this area under control. If I can get control over this little complex of buildings and forests here, that's nice, but if not, that's also okay. It's just you need to, or you want to have control over this area specifically to be able to drive into the center without having to go through this area where the enemy can shoot at you with ATGMs from all different angles. So yeah, off we go. I also adjusted my deck a little bit. I took out the seat and put in the cluster bomber, because obviously 8th can get 2 cards of Eyehawks, but I thought that he could know that I like to play 7th Panzer as an air spam deck, because I already have played a game with 7th Panzer. Also, by the way, Sterling M here. I don't know what was going on there. He just drove into the garden here and then turned around and drove out again, so he was massively behind everybody else. You're drunk, go home. But yeah, either way. So I took out my seat because I thought that he might know that I play this division air spam heavy with seat, and replace it with a cluster, because if he takes out the Eyehawks and just uses Chaparrals, the seat will be useless. But with the cluster, I can still kill the Eyehawk, but I can also kill the Chaparral without him actually being able to micro even against it, because he can turn off the Eyehawk, but the cluster will obviously still go through. So yeah, that was one of the ideas. Cluster is this AC-22 cluster. It only has 2 500kg cluster bombs. They aren't the best against tanks, in my opinion. They can sometimes fail to kill a tank if the spread is fucked up a little bit. But against lighter targets, it's actually pretty good. Here I don't know why this Concourse kept re-aiming all the time. Like, they were literally straight coming down the road. So, no idea what's going on there. Now it just dies to the ATGM in the tower. Kind of unfortunate. There was something going in here, so I'm just assuming this is going to be like an LRS or any other type of recon. And a Bradley that I saw with the recon helicopter, but that's it pretty much for the left-hand side. Well, no, it's a 50 cal Jeep, so this must be just a normal scouts squad. And he is in fact investing quite heavily into the center, so the Spezialaufklärer here is in a little bit of a pickle, especially with the Concourse failing to snipe the enemy for reasons that I don't really understand. I mean, the line of sight tool pretty clearly says that he has line of sight over the whole area here, so I don't understand what's going on. But yeah, so the Spezialaufklärer is in a little bit of trouble. T-72s together with the Modschützen are now pushing over the open. Do have the Krupp and Estrella in the back, so should be pretty good against any aircraft or helicopters coming in. Right hand side, I did capture this area, but there were already units from him moving in, and it's a Rangers Dragon. A little bit unfortunate, because Rangers aren't the best, but they're still, especially a double vet. I mean, they are decent squads at double vet. The problem is just that you don't really get a lot of them. Bradley now coming in, which is my kryptonite for the T-72s, because they obviously lack smoke, so its TOW2 will be a big problem. A10 coming in, gets a BMP-1, one T-72, and gets the other T-72 as well. And Coop and Strela unfortunately failed to stop it, also failed to even hit it. Coop shoots a third time and misses a third time, so this was pretty catastrophic. The Coop also wasn't moved up completely, which was a mistake by me. I was afraid of ATGMs on this side, but obviously that's kind of dumb, because my whole push here has already driven through without being killed, so that should have been good. But then again, I mean, he hit all his shots either way, so it wouldn't have mattered, and my AA missed all its shots. So the push has been completely stopped. He does dive through with his F-16 to kill my Mi-24, but I had a fighter coming in already, so my MiG-23 kills off the F-16, which is at least something. But yeah, I mean, this push here has now completely failed. Everything's dead except for the infantry, but the infantry on its own won't be able to do anything against the Rangers here. Because, as I said, at double red they are actually good. The problem is just the availability of them is extremely garbage. Especially considering that your infantry availability overall in 8th Infantry is pretty bad. Which is funny because it's called an infantry division. But, yeah, well, yeah. Infantry availability in general is a bit dumb. Like, I'm not a fan of people just constantly pissing and shitting themselves about IFVs. It's like, yeah, okay, we get it. IFVs are strong, but it's not like all infantry divisions are bad. There's enough infantry divisions that are already strong. But like, IVs don't need to be nerfed into the ground. You know, just because you only play the worst division in the whole game, that doesn't mean that, like, you know, the whole game should be balanced around you. But what I will give them is that it is a little bit weird how, like, normal infantry and IV infantry have basically the same availability. I would be totally cool with, you know, IV infantry losing a little bit of availability, but also not too much, because the game is, you know, very close to actually being very, not perfectly balanced, but extremely good, well balanced. Right now it's like okay balance. It's not perfect, but it's good, and honestly a lot better than it was for a long time. But yeah, back to the game. So he has a center sector, he also has captured the right hand side, so he had a +4. A10 came in, but I quickly smoked off the T-72 MK, which does actually have smoke. And the Strela 10M also did hit the A10 and forced it back. A1 was trying to come in, but he decided to beat a retreat, which was the right thing to do, because I have 2 more Schützen here. With their 18 pen RPGs, the A1 would have been in a lot of trouble if I would have gotten even one side shot. Supply also are on the way to resupply the Coop and also resupply the smoke on the T-72. Did spot the Chaparral and the Bradley, though I lost line of sight of the Chaparral, so I'm just diving in for the Bradley with the SU-22 cluster. Get hit once by the Chaparral and get hit the second time by the Stinger, so like pretty much everything in the early game going as wrong as it could, with the A10 hitting everything, being missed itself. Chaparral and Stinger double tapping my 30 ECM plane, by the way. Yeah, that was extremely bad. To be fair, the F-16 dying to the MiG-23 was kind of lucky. Then again, the F-16 is also... It's not a bad fighter, it's just... It's still overpriced if you compare it to the MiG-29, especially. Like, I don't get it. So yeah, I was in a lot of trouble at this point in time. The Rangers are just very annoying everywhere, and I know that he doesn't have a lot of them, but that doesn't help me at this point in time because I just can't get rid of them. Buying in 2 more bombers, trying to send them in together, though in this case the MiG-21 was kind of a lot sooner into the action than the Su-22. I don't really know why. Maybe I misclicked, and that's why it came in a lot later. I did call in the Su-22 to bomb the AA that would shoot at the MiG-21, but then nothing shot at the MiG-21, so I don't know where his AA is. And it didn't even kill the Rangers. Though to be fair, both of the Ranger squad here are now very low on HP actually, if you look at it. Trying to get the SPWs in some good positions, where they can get some fire support going on their mech rifles. Also, unfortunately, 2 more Schützen here not engaging. Second MiG-21 coming in, because, well, I mean, nothing was shooting at the first MiG-21. Surely the second one will get through as well, and it does. A lot of reinforcements coming into the center, which was a little weird, in my opinion, because, like, there's nothing more to gain for him here, I guess. Well, no, not really. He can take these positions here, But he could take the positions here literally with the Rangers Dragon he just has there. And yeah, well, with the Rangers being low and the mech rifles also being hit quite a bit, I'm pushing him with the T-55. A-10 coming in though, quickly beating the retreat with the T-55s. They lack smoke, so you know I don't want to be caught in the open. Dive in with the MiG-23, kill the A-10. If it dies in return, then honestly I'm fine with that. As long as I get the kill on the A-10 and that opens up my T-55s to operate here freely, that's fine. One of his mech rifles gets sniped in the M113. That was, I mean, it was a good thing, well done by him to reroute them to the right side, because that's where he needed them. He unloaded them way too late, and now they will die to the T-55s and all my Modschützen. Those mech rifles here and the Rangers, I really want to kill them so that they don't get repaired. He is rerouting more and more units now to the left-hand side, so I might be too late. MiG-23 HE comes in, gets the Rangers, but of course gets double tapped in return, because why wouldn't it? 30% ECM. Though I do see the Chaparral now finally, and I get a kill with the SU-22 cluster. Get hit once in return, at least only another second time, though once again. 30% ECM, no idea. The Chaparral was just on a roll. But well, it was, because it's now dead. So at least that's some good news. And I did get the right side back, so this will reduce his tick to a +2. So you can see aggressively pushing it with all of my units, but I'm kind of starting to lose them all, so I decided to, you know what, let's not sacrifice everything I have to try to kill the Rangers here, which I most likely won't be able to kill anyway, with all the losses I have taken. Losing 2 SPWs here, also very painful. Those are obviously not like the cornerstone of the division, but keeping them alive as long as possible and using them for some fire support against units without dragons is just so valuable in my opinion. MiG-21 circling in the back, not knowing what to do with it. Bradley does spot the BMP-1, but I do smoke off and retreat. It did waste its last Malutka unfortunately though, so this will be a little bit useless now unfortunately. To see another Chaparral moving around. Also note that there's obviously an ATGM in this tower still. Should be investing in artillery, but the problem is that I was trying to air spam him down, and it was like working okay. The first cluster going in and instantly dying was obviously bad, then the MiG-23 also going in and dying is also like, this is actually horrible. But it's not going super bad. Like I still have several bombers left. And I did get kills in return at least. The problem in the last game was that I mostly didn't get even a kill with my bombers. This time I at least am getting kills. Here, Stingers killing the MiG-21. It did get through though and did kamikaze its way into the Chaparral to retreat the second one. Didn't manage to retarget it on one of the Stingers in time. The Stingers also didn't get to fire because they were still reloading, so that was good. But yeah, now I should really be getting up more artillery. And also, you know, actually two ways is a very bad map for air spam, but I still decided to do it. And here, now, I have no idea what he was doing there. Like, he just drove in his M1A1, showed his ass to my T-55. The T-55 hits and gets a crit on the M1A1 and it gets destroyed. And that's where I instantly called on the SU-22, because I thought I already killed one of the M1A1s. If I now can kill a second M1A1, there's not only a massive damage in morale, there's also just a massive tempo gain for me, and I do get the kill. So this is like what, over 2 minutes worth of income for him gone in a matter of seconds. Plus like the the morale damage he gets through losing 2 M1A1s in quick succession, one of which he probably doesn't even know what he lost it to. It was the hero T-55A. Absolute top G here. Yeah, so this is very nice. The problem is that I can't really do anything with it at this point in time, because there's still 2 Bradleys here. I am starting a push on the left hand side, but the problem is that I killed M1A1s on the right hand side. But the existence of 2 M1A1s on the right hand side does kind of tell me that the left side can't be too well defended. Especially considering also his investment into AA. And also the units that I saw coming into the center. I know that there really can't be a lot in this area. And here's where I decide to just actually completely take this area, so that he can't put an ATGM here later on, because that would be annoying. Going in for the stingers in the buildings there. I do get a stinger here. In this building, unfortunately, the MiG-21 just dropped the bombs all around the building and not on the building itself. So this one here survived, even though I targeted it specifically, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I targeted a little bit too far to the left, I'm not sure. It then did come in on the left and did kill one T-55, but does get routed by the MiG-23. Doesn't get killed. Kind of sad. But also, honestly, a little bit fair, because the MiG-23 honestly isn't the best fighter in the world. SF-16 barely gets out before getting in range of the coup. Another Chaparral dying to the Conquerors here, I guess. Well, this is very bad, because this is 3 Chaparrals already down for him, and it is the 1 Stinger. Sure, he has killed several bombers in return as well, but especially if I also then get up my artillery, I can start working even more on his AA. And also the old AA he loses, he needs to replace, which is obviously less points going into infantry and recon and tanks. So at this point in time, I was feeling pretty well. He's still on a +2, which is rather annoying, but I felt really well about getting a new push going into the center. You can see T-72 here, T-55, Command T-72, bunch of infantry. All the SPWs have been positioned here in the picket line, so that he doesn't get into this forest patch here. Also putting the modules in BTR there, because I really want to keep this clear of anything. M113 Dragon. I also don't really think those are worth it, by the way. Like, they cost 5 points more than a normal M113 for Dragon 1, which you barely get any use out of anyway. So I think just it's better to take the normal M113 or just a truck. He has 1 M110, tries to kill the T-55 but fails. Now, I know I always say 2 houses are better. Yes, I know they cost double the price, but this is the perfect like case to show why I think that I'm correct in this point. If he would have had 2 M110s, the T-55 would be dead, and he would have gotten like actual point value from it. This artillery barrage didn't really get any real value. Like, I mean, obviously holding back tanks through them being damaged is good, but you also need to kill them so that your enemy can't get a big ball rolling of them. Oh yeah, now I missed a funny thing. I did go in here with 3 attack planes to kill the Ihawk, and the Ihawk sniped all 3 of the planes. He didn't kill it, but it tapped all 3 of those planes. It shot 3 times and hit all 3 missiles. But luckily it only tapped them, it didn't kill them. So that was at least something, but it was still kind of funny. But yeah, you need to kill the tanks actually, especially if your enemy is a tank division that can spam tanks and get a big blob of them. You need to kill them. Keeping them suppressed and damaged works well against heavily armored divisions. Not against divisions like mine. 1 T-55 being damaged is like annoying, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, having 2 of them is, in my opinion, essential. And in this case, he just mistargeted, so that's why this Rotterdam here just didn't even care about the barrage. Pushing in the modshots a little bit preemptively here, that wasn't the best thing to do. LRS and mech rifles will do a good job against those. But now the tanks have arrived, the BRM-1 is also in position for some exceptional recon support. But there's 2 tow cobras, and those are a little annoying. Sturgeon is trying to get into position, but it's only 1 Sturgeon. Second one will be on the front line soon though, so that's good. Also starting a push from this side to kind of encircle him. Only a small push with a grenade launcher, Spezialaufklärer and Mordschützen. But it's still better than nothing, and the grenade launcher is pretty good against the mech rifles here. Will do a good job. Right hand side looking pretty good. I'm pushing up the Conquerors so that it's closer to the front. There's also a grenade launcher here that, well, should be pushed further forward, honestly, into a more relevant position. Tow cobras are being annoying. Do get good damage on the T-55. I guess it was hit here. This T-72 here is also heavily hit. This T-72 gets hit in the front from the tow cobra, so not as bad. Sturgeon kills 1 of the tow cobras, so that's a very important kill. Second one now stuns it, unfortunately. He gets one hit off. But now, can I get the second missile off? No, it gets stunned again. And the Toe Cobra shoots another Ito, but the Shortener might be able to aim in time. No, it doesn't. Oh, the Toe Cobra kills it, but luckily I already had a second Strela coming in. So I learned from my game against SnowWolfie and had some AA up with my push. And do get rid of both of the Toe Cobras. My tanks here are now all low, but that's what I mean. Like, all those low HP tanks will still do a lot of damage against the Rangers. There's an M1 coming in, so he does have the M1 Abrams in his deck. Which, like as I said, if he keeps them at range, this will be trouble for me. But the question is, will he be able to keep them at range? And well, to be fair, against the T-72s they are actually good, because the T-72s just like smoke. So every tank well microed against them will be good. But as I said, I need to use line of sight correctly, and then I can still grind him basically with my tanks. Bradley's here moving forward, spot the Spezialaufklärer. Very, very annoying, because I already lost one of those, and this one is already also low HP. I don't want to lose more of them. Spot the IHawk though, because it's just positioned in the open. MiG-21 gets his bombing run through, gets the kill. On the MiG-21, I think got a kill on the Bradley. Sorry, I missed this. MiG-21 back there gets killed by the F-16s, but honestly, that's a trade I'm willing to make. Trading a MiG-21 for an IHawk, I'm absolutely fine with this. M110 coming into the open field where there's nothing left. Conquerors here critically out of ammo at this point in time. Not well done by me. Should have had a supply truck up here a long time ago. My own artillery has also arrived now. Also has shot at something already, but I can't remember what it was. Sorry, I missed that. See the M1 parked in the forest line here, and thought that, you know what, that looks like a perfect target. Even though I don't exactly value the M1s too high, too dangerous, I still want to get rid of them as soon as possible. And here the M1 drives into my Mordschützen and gets the Giga side shot. Turns his front armor then though for the second shot, so unfortunately no kill here. And then smokes off just in time. So that would have been very nice, but unfortunately a little bit too late. Trying to put the Mordschützen in this forest here. Because if I get control over this forest, I can also use it to have my T-55s and T-72s engage the enemy tanks in this area, and then I can retreat them further into the forest and use that to break line of sight without even having smoke. And when Abrams here does die to my howitzers, Mi-24 kills the Recon Bradley. Second Recon Bradley is still around, unfortunately. SU-22 gets a kill on the Bradley and on the M1 that was low HP from the Mordschützen. Very bad for him, very good for me though. The command here still alive from him, but standing a little bit weirdly in the open. Don't know why exactly. Spezialaufklärer from my side did go down as kind of expected. The supply has finally arrived though, so the Conquerors has ammo again. Does need to push up a little bit further though. It's a little too far back. I think there's still the ATGM firing from the tower there and kills the BRM-1, which is a very painful kill because this was providing me with exceptional recon, and especially with the loss of the Spezialaufklärer here, that means that I don't even have recon here anymore. And yeah, the TOW is still firing at the T-72, I don't even notice it. Do kill his enemy command there, and put my howitzers on the infantry on the right hand side now, because I do have a few units here that could start going and getting some value. Another M1 Abrams comes in, gets a nasty shot on a T-72, but I instantly retreated. He also smokes off his M1. My T-72M command in the back goes down to the artillery. His M1 also does snipe the T-72 in the end. Well done by him. A-10 came in but was forced back, and then the MiG-23 gets a kill at max range. Now has even vetted up because it got so many kills. Very nice. T-72 trying to engage the M1 but doesn't get the side shot. It misses. Very unfortunate. M1 turns, gets a good hit. But the T-55 is also coming in. Misses, unfortunately, even though it's double vet. Here I thought maybe I want to disengage with the T-72, but then I decided to just stay in because the M1 was very low health anyway. And he misses his shot. I hit my kill shot, and that's it for another M1 Abrams. So, yeah, Kamahl just losing all of his tanks over and over again. Also lost all his infantry in this area. So it's kind of looking bad for him. There was a Bradley here as well, I believe, that has already died, most likely. Yeah, I think it's there. Yeah, recon ready. Obviously, 8th doesn't get any other Bradleys. Again, M110 coming in, but only one, so it stuns my tanks, damages them, but he doesn't kill them. Some more infantry from me has arrived here in this area, because I was assuming that he would start more infantry play here, but hasn't happened yet. Helicopter also, I'm trying to keep it as far back as possible, so that it doesn't get sniped by the chaparrals and the pivets, because both are excellent anti-helicopter AA pieces. And also, if he does want to go in with his F-16 to dive it, he will need to fly into my AA net. So to be fair, it's not even that developed at this point in time, because 8th also doesn't have the greatest air tab, honestly. I said it already in my tier list, I think, and nothing really changed about it with the recent balance patch, but it just seems that all the slots in this division are so expensive that you never can get any good advantage in any specific area going with if you build a division, it feels like. Or if you get an advantage in one area, you kind of cripple everything else. At least that's what it feels like. M110's coming in on the SPW, like, that's such not a valuable target to hit with the M110. Artillery hits some infantry there. My MiG-23 HE here unfortunately gets sniped max range. Very sad, because the MiG-23 HE is such a good plane. Trying to going in for the Eyehawk, the SU-22 also gets tapped, but MiG-21 gets the kill, so the hero MiG-21 getting the Eyehawk once again. Cheap bombers doing their job, and yeah, the planes getting tapped is annoying because they will be out for repairs for 9 minutes, but I kill his Eyehawk in return, so he is running out of stuff slowly. Another M1 coming in an M1A1. Did lose my infantry here a little bit unnecessarily, but it's not even that bad, because I just have so much stuff here everywhere. And now you can see I'm calling in a bunch of units to the right-hand side, like actually a lot of units to the right-hand side. Which I can do because, first of all, I was floating a little bit. But also, even without the float, like, those units all don't even cost that much together. So, yeah, there is very little he should be able to do against all the units once they're there. LRS gets killed here finally, so this is some exceptional recon for him gone. SU-22 HE misses the M1. Second missile also was fired way too close, so wasn't able to get on target. Just put the Eyehawk, put the artillery on it, because all my bombers are actually out repairing. T-72 M1 has also arrived to the center to get up with the BRM-1. Only one Conqueror here at this point in time, maybe a little bit ambitious. His artillery coming in for the Conqueror here, does get a kill. Like, if you're using singular M110s, yeah, then use them against infantry, for example. Specifically against ATGMs in forest, for example. That's where a singular M110 is good. But against tanks, I really don't see the point of using singular M110s. Or singular howitzers in general, just no. Here, now the problem is that all of my shells are landing around the Eyehawk, like to the left and to the right. So the Eyehawk does actually survive without taking a single point of HP damage. Which was, I mean, it was a little annoying. It is the fairly high range out of corrected shot range, but it was still a little bit unlucky. I didn't even get a single hit on the Eyehawk. But oh well, it do be like that sometimes. M110 coming in for the infantry. The Mortarflehrer here getting routed. Unfortunately, they jump out of the building on the wrong side. Luckily, the splash damage from the M110 doesn't kill them. It's a pretty important squad here, because I do still have the BRM-1, but infantry recon has the advantage of being more stealthy, so that's why you want to keep it alive. He's trying to counter battery me now, but I'm obviously moving my artillery as I always do. I have also put like a singular Igla on the left and on the right side, so that he doesn't get some funny action going with like the helicopter commands. I'm pretty sure 8th also gets them. I wasn't 100% sure, but I didn't want to find out the hard way. Now pushing in with all of my tanks, M1A1, and 2 M1s though, a little concerning, because this is a lot of firepower coming in at the same time for my tanks. This one here does get stunned down by the Conquerors though, so it has to be the retreat. Tanks here are getting low HP. 2 F-16 diving down for my Mi-24. Also get the MiG-21 in the process. Kind of unfortunate. But I do get both of the M1s here. One of them did go to the Su-22. The other kill might have gone to the tanks. Trying to get as many of them out as I can. M1A1 engaging, but hopefully the tanks will be able to get out alive. They do. My infantry has died. Little unfortunate, but not the worst thing, especially considering that I killed 2 M1s with it, well, with my tanks in this engagement. And the M1A1 is giga low. See the Chaparral there, instantly put the artillery on it, and now the whole blob on the right hand side has arrived and will start the advance on it. Just look at the sheer mass of units I have here. It's so insane. Like, T-72 divisions are still so good. You might even say that they're broken. Chaparral goes down to the artillery. I think he tried to once again get something going with his artillery on my tanks there, but yeah, didn't do anything. Also have a SPW Conquerors here in the center as well, and yeah, he has nothing to stop the push there, and he surrenders because there was literally nothing he could have done against it. Yeah, actually pretty good KD. The opening didn't really go well for me. His A10 sniping all of my tanks and my Coup and Strela 10M missing all their shots was a bit annoying, though as I said, to be fair, the Coup was also a little bit too far back, which is important in these cases. Like the Coup being a bit further forward could have saved me. But then overall, over the course of the game, I did grind my way back in. This time also doing the air spam correctly, not sending in the bombers, you know, one by one, and also having AA with my pushes. So yeah, you can see that I did get back into the groove of playing the game. Also, just, I don't know. I don't think 8th US Infantry is a particularly good division to play. I'm not even sure whether anybody has ever gotten a win this season with 8th Infantry, like in the higher leagues. I mean, it just seems like such a weird division, as I said. It's not really bad, but it's also just not particularly good anywhere. Yeah, the MiG-23 here, getting 3 enemy planes, very nice, and both of the enemy A-10s. MiG-21, LRS, and Irehawk is already a fantastic kill list for those cheap bombers. This MiG-24 didn't do shit though. The SU-22 cluster also getting instantly killed after its first bombing run was very painful in the early game. But as I said, just slowly grinding my way back in. MiG-21 getting a command and a Chaparral. Those bombers are just so cheap that this kill list is already worth it. T-55A doing an amazing job as always, as you would expect from this. But then the MiG-23 HE getting one Ranger and instantly dying. So for some reason the expensive bombers did get double tap instantly, and the MiG-21s were just on their main character run, I guess. SU-22 cluster getting a Chaparral. Like this, for example, is not very worth it. Like, it's a good kill, but not a good kill list, because the SU-22 cluster is still fairly expensive. And the T-55A getting the ass shot on the M1A1, that was such a catastrophic sequence for him, losing the M1A1 to the rear shot and then the other one to the SU-22. I think that was almost GG for him. Obviously, it wasn't actually game over, but this is so bad against a division that can spam lighter and cheaper tanks that are still cost efficient. It's horrible. Also then losing one of the Chaparrals in the open for no reason definitely didn't help. Another T-55 getting an M1, MiG-21 getting Stinger and Irehawk. I was just constantly pummeling his AA so that he never could get a good AA net going, which is very important if you try to do something with your air. Yeah, grenade launcher, not very surprisingly, getting rid of all of the mech rifles. Yeah, I think one of the reasons, by the way, why 8th also feels so much worse than it did before I mean, first of all, the mech rifles buff was very hard for this division, and then also the Cobras, the nerf, sorry, and then also the Cobra nerf just hit it on top of it, on top of everything else. So you don't even have exceptionally good not even exceptionally good helicopters, but the Cobra is just such a. It's not a bad. Again, it's not a bad helicopter, but it's also just not particularly good. The howitzers, I think they didn't even get that many kills. Yeah, but again, another tank killed. And you can't be losing tanks so easily against a division that will amass tanks over the course of the game. That's the big problem. Another SA-22 getting an M1. C-72 got 2 M1s. Okay, Jesus Christ. Again, this is the cheap one. It's only costs 130 points. This M1 costs, I think, 200 points? Or 210? Something like that. This is horrible. On inside, the TOW2 here did very well in the center. Did take way too long for me to get rid of it. And obviously the D810 to get rid of Ready in the opener completely wrecked me. Stingers here. Oof. But I just got rid of those units over the course of the game, and there was nothing you can do to stop it. And the M110, they did get the 1 liter tank when it was on like 1 HP, so that's good. But this is such a bad kill list for M110s, especially on a game on a map like Mount River, where the unit concentration is very high because we had those 2 giant lakes in the center, and then the giant open like unusable sites on the edges, which means that your enemy always has to concentrate their units. So yeah, the M110s should have gotten a lot more work done. And well, obviously the tanks as well. Like this M1A1 got an SPW and that's it. And the other M1A1s didn't even get a single kill, I think. Yeah. So nice try by enemy, but I think this is honestly just mostly a division pick issue. Just don't pick 8th, guys. Don't, or pick it against me, so I have a better time winning. But if you want to win, don't pick it. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. Next video will obviously be Game 2, so stay tuned for that one. And until then, have a beautiful day, and bye-bye.